Pop culture, events, releases, and news happens year-round. November is no exception, as we are going to see releases for your streaming screens, your big screens, the silver screen, and screens on the go. It's now time to delve live. Welcome everyone to another live stream of Delve. I'm Tom Morris, and for those that haven't seen the show before, Delve Live is a live stream and a show where we celebrate everything good about pop culture, that we find the good in pop culture and we celebrate it, from video games to movies to entertainment to animation to comic books to books. There's always something fun to talk about with pop culture, and that is why I talk every week on Delve Live. For those that might be new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe and share this, and let people know that Delve Live is the show that we celebrate pop culture all year round. Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. There we go. For this episode, I was looking at some of the stuff that is coming out here in November. Now, we're getting to the point of the year where a lot of the releases or the news that we've talked about throughout throughout episodes year long, we always kind of read the press releases. We're starting to get to the point coming October, November, December, where we're going to see a lot of releases. There's still a lot of information that still comes out for this last quarter of the year, primarily video games, toys, action figure collectibles, and of course, movies and series. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about some of the latest news and releases that we're going to see in November, and by extension, some of the stuff that we're going to have in 2022. Let's talk first an update on Masters of the Universe. As you well know, a few months ago, we had the first part of Masters of the Universe Revelation, a series that was released on Netflix. We talked about that series. We also talked about the figures that came out, wave one of the figures, because Masters of the Universe Revelation was split into two parts. We had the first part, then we had the release of the figures and the action figures that was released around the same time. Now we're waiting for the second part of Masters of the Universe Revelation and Masters of the Universe Figures Masterverse. And I'm sorry if you haven't watched that first part of Masters of the Universe Revelation, but there is going to be some spoilers in this segment. So what is the news with Masters of the Universe Revelation and Masters of the Universe Masterverse? I won't say Masterforce like it's the Transformers. Well, let me tell you what was just announced here a couple of days ago on Mattel's news site. Legendary Savage He-Man joins Masterverse toy line ahead of Part 2 release of Masters of the Universe Revelation. This article was by P.J. Lewis, Vice President, Global Head of Action Figures for Mattel. Few characters in the Masters of the Universe franchise have so much mystery surrounding them as the legendary Savage version of He-Man. Inspired by a unique Mattel promotion in the early 1980s, fans have never before learned the true backstory of this iconic and elusive character, nor seen him represented on screen. Today, with the announcement of Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2, longtime fans will be delighted to learn that Savage He-Man is being reimagined for our beloved fans in content, as well as with a new incredible action figure. For years, it was assumed that Prince Adam could only call upon the power of Grayskull using the Sword of Power. But Adam himself always wondered what would happen if he called upon the power without the sword. We now know the answer: Savage He-Man. With the full power of Grayskull unleashed inside him, Adam gains a combination of primal rage and all the power in the universe, the raw fury, the brutal strength, and the unbridled speed of 10 He-Men. But without the sword of power to temper these mighty forces, Savage He-Man is all strength with no intellect to control it. The barbarian version of our hero leaves his friends wondering if Adam is truly present within the transformed beast, as he tears through Eternia in an uncontrolled frenzy. Luckily, Adam at his core possesses innate compassion, humility, goodness that rivals the power of Grayskull itself. Only the Prince of Eternia could wield such power and be both willing and able to relinquish it once the battle is won. While fans will soon have the chance to see this legendary Savage version of He-Man on Netflix for the epic conclusion of Masters of the Universe Revelation in a showdown against Skelegod, they will also, for the first time, have the opportunity to bring this hero home in a completely unique form to add to their collection. Joined by Orko, Eternia's most powerful sorcerer, Savage He-Man represents the latest in the Masters of the Universe Masterverse series, all of which offer highly detailed designs with at least 30 points of articulation for extreme posability and come with each character's unique accessories. The duo will be available at retailers in 2022. As you can see right here, Savage He-Man, Orko, Battle Axe, a close-up He-Man, Orko, Sword of Power. The Netflix animated series Masters of the Universe Revelation is a radical return to Eternia, and the Masterverse collection brings the reboot to life with equally radical action figures. Each deluxe styled figures approximately 7 inches tall and designed with the high level of detail fans will love, featuring heroic warriors and villainous foes. The character figures come with swappable hands and multiple accessories for epic storytelling and displays. For collectors and fans who treasure the Masters of the Universe legacy and its expert revitalization, these Masters of the Universe deluxe figures are must-haves. You can see, I love this in this Mattel part that they're posing the figures, the Savage He-Man and the almost final battle with Skelegod. Interesting take on Savage He-Man, kind of like Adam becomes the Hulk. I thought that as well when I was reading this. Earlier this year, we introduced the first wave of Masterverse figures. The latest assortment from the next wave of the Masterverse action figures line is available at retailers now and also includes Teela, Man-at-Arms, Beastman, and Spikor. Now I talk about Barbaric He-Man, I talk about Skelegod, I'm talking about these action figures, but the question, I guess, why I said November is, when is the Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2 going to be released? And I do have an answer for that. Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2 will be releasing in the United States on November 23rd, 2021 at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here's the synopsis. The war for Eternia continues in the second part of Masters of the Universe Revelation, an innovative and action-packed animated series that picks up where the iconic characters left off. With Skeletor now wielding the Sword of Power, the weary heroes of Eternia must band together to fight back against the forces of evil in a thrilling and epic conclusion to the two-part series. November, like I said, action-packed over the Thanksgiving weekend. You'll be able to binge on Netflix Part 2 of Masters of the Universe Revelation. Maybe by then, during the weekend of shopping, if you want to shop, you might be able to pick up some Netflix figures. Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse figures, get a Orko, hang them on the tree, hang them being festive, kind of seeing what the second part of the Masters of the Universe Revelation has. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the first set of episodes. I really enjoyed them. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the conclusion is. Just sometimes these short episodes, even though they don't have as much filler, you kind of wish that you could just have an episode or two where they put some filler in, where they kind of stretch it out a little bit so you can enjoy getting to know these characters more. Because just as we get used to them, they're gone for a few months, then they come back again, and they're gone. But let me know in the comments what you think about this latest Masters of the Universe Masterverse figures. The first release, I believe, of Barbaric He-Man in a 2-pack with Orko, and what type of figures that you would be interested in picking up on for later lines of the Masterverse line of Masters of the Universe. Get everything set up here for the next one. Okay. This next subject, when I look at pop culture, I celebrate everything. I celebrate stuff when we were younger, when we grow up, and as stuff kind of goes into generations. There is always something that we grow up with that we like to see evolve, or maybe it stays locked in terms of as we grow older, we have a fond memory of it, but a new younger generation gets to grow up with it. And next thing you know, it's 20, 30, 40, 50-year anniversary, while the core's it's still in where it starts out, books, maybe television shows. But after a while, some stuff actually makes it to the live action silver screen. And that's what we're going to talk about with Clifford the Big Red Dog movie that is going to be out in November. But first, before we start talking about the movie, let's talk a little history about Clifford the Big Red Dog and his impact in pop culture. For more than 50 years, Clifford the Big Red Dog has been entertaining children, parents, and teachers with his big adventures. In his beloved dog, Norman Bridwell created a literary classic embraced by generations around the world that has become one of America's oldest and most beloved children's characters. Clifford emphasizes good citizenship and the importance of community. Through the character of Clifford, whose heart is as big as he is, children absorb gentle lessons about acceptance and inclusion through Clifford's big ideas. Share, play fair, have respect, be responsible, work together, be truthful, be kind, believe in yourself, be a good friend, and help others. It's Clifford's every dog kindness that has made him a beloved icon with children and parents for 50 years. Regardless of the specific topic, Clifford's stories always demonstrate tolerance, encouraging young viewers to approach the world with open hearts and minds. Since the first Clifford book was published in 1963, the property has expanded to include 129 million books in print and an Emmy Award-winning television series, currently airing on its 12th consecutive season on PBS Kids in the United States. The show has been sold to 30 countries and 12 languages worldwide. We also have in 13 different languages. The books are published and distributed in territories, including Asia, Europe, and Latin America. So as with any pop culture that transcends its original material, you have books, you have DVDs, you have cute collectible stuff that kids have. And as you grow older, you might see collectibles around the house because it made an impact in the person's life. You also have television shows, which I'm going to play a clip right now off of Clifford.
Happy birthday, Clifford!
I like that comment, Josh. Thank you. So, like I said, Clifford, a pop culture that started out 50 years ago, 1963. You have the author, Norman Bridwell. I want to give credit to Rich White for the headshot that they have posted up. You go from your books, probably coloring books, collectibles, you have DVDs, you have television. Where does a dog of that size go? Well, the answer is, of course, the big screen. Yes, that's right. Clifford the Big Red Dog in theaters and on Paramount Plus November 10th, 2021. Yeah, November 10th, 2021. When middle schooler Emily Elizabeth before I go into the synopsis, I want to show you the trailer, the teaser trailer that was released last year, because I thought it was pretty darn cute, to be honest with you. Here's the teaser trailer for Clifford the Big Red Dog.
This holiday season, we're thankful for the pets whose love got us through the year. But next year, get ready to love even bigger.
I'm bringing those blue skies back forever.
Now let me go into the actual synopsis of the movie, because it just looks fun, and that's what pop culture is at the end of the day. If people are having fun, that's what it's all about. So here's the official synopsis of Clifford the Big Red Dog movie. When middle schooler Emily Elizabeth, played by Darby Camp, meets a magical animal rescuer, John Cleese, who gifts her with a little red puppy, she never anticipated waking up to find a giant 10-foot hound in her small New York City apartment. While her single mom, Sienna Gullare, is away for business, Emily and her fun but impulsive uncle Casey, played by Jack Whitehall, set out on an adventure that will keep you on the edge of your seat as our heroes take a bite of the Big Apple. Based on the beloved scholastic book character, Clifford would teach the world how to love big. Now, this is what time is for the actual movie trailer.
Uncle Casey, can't he just stay for one night?
One night.
Really? How big is he gonna get?
That depends on how much you love him.
Clifford, how did this happen?
Ooh, that's a big red dog.
So cute.
Cool, 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 cool.
You know I'm a little better. Why don't you take his temperature?
Where?
In the animal temperature taking place?
Clifford, no fetch!
How has he not popped that yet? Ah, there we are.
It's all over the internet. There's a 10-foot dog in Upper Manhattan.
That can't be real.
We are offering a $25,000 reward for the capture of the big red dog.
People don't like things that are different. There are no other dogs like you.
What's he doing?
I think he's trying to be small.
Got room for it.
What do? We have to save him.
I'm in.
We're in.
Really? What if you found someone who was so full of love?
He's slipping.
Made you feel like you could do anything.
Your dog just saved my life!
I'm getting Clifford out of here. You know how to drive? How hard can it be? I'm grounded for life, aren't I?
You and me both.
He eats like an animal.
He is an animal.
I'm talking about him.
What?
That was the latest trailer for Clifford the Big Red Dog in movie theaters and on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, November 10th. What I thought was cool, and the reason I wanted to show this, was because there's certain things throughout our childhood, or when you're a child, that you hold dear, and you collect them as books, you collect them as figures, and then next thing you know, they start aging, and you pass them on to your generation, to the next generation, and they pass it on to a generation. Then when you have these moments where it's a big anniversary, a celebration, you go to the movie theaters, you have multiple generations that can enjoy something on many different levels. That is why I think it's really cool that we have so many great things coming up in November that we can all celebrate together. So let me know what you think, if you'll be taking either yourself, be watching Clifford, or you'll be with maybe some younger relatives that are enjoying this, or just something fun to do. Let me get ready for the next one. Are you ready to believe it has been 25 years since Pokémon has been in pop culture? Let me put that in perspective. 25 years of card games, of television, of animation, of figures, and of course, video games. Well, this year is the 25th anniversary of Pokémon. With Pokémon being in its 25th anniversary, all year there have been a lot of releases in video games, in the trading card games, in animation, cartoons, figures. Pokemon is a worldwide phenomenon spanning multiple generations. I still remember in 1996 selling Pokemon trading card games and thinking, what is the big deal? Well, you find out what the big deal is because kids are trading cards back and forth, and it brings them into a whole different universe where I remember some were actually learning Japanese because they wanted to get the Japanese Pokemon cards. 25 years, it is this red hot. It does not stop. You have multiple generations engaging in Pokemon. So what does that mean? Well, of course, video games, when it comes to two things, Pokemon. Let's talk about, like I said, Pokemon for 25 years has invaded pop culture and taken it over. Of course, the big thing is the trading card game. How many of you remember growing up or having kids, siblings that were heavily invested in trading card games? Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and of course, Pikachu. They still go on strong today. 25 years later, you see that they still have trading card games. Pokemon Celebrations, Train On was just released here this month, an exclusive collectible. Of course, when you got trading card games, you also have your trading card lunch boxes, and you keep your cards in. A whole package of, you've probably seen these starter sets. When you go to various stores, you have these sets. Some of you have gifted them or been gifted with these deluxe collections. Collectible merchandise, people wearing hats, t-shirts, coats, travel mugs, anything Pokemon, because they celebrate. They have so much fun with it, which is really cool. Collectible plushies. Pikachu is everywhere. He's even been in movies. He's even been a detective. Of course, I'm talking about video games, and one of the biggest video game franchises of all time, Pokemon. With Nintendo, you've seen Pokemon in the original Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, 3DS. Also seen Pokemon in various games for the consoles, such as the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, the carrying case for the Switch. What more can they do in 2021 for Pokemon's 25th anniversary? Well, how about a remaster of one of the most iconic video games in the Pokemon franchise? And let me show you a trailer for what I'm talking about. "25 years, out in 2006, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl will be released for the Nintendo Switch." Now, this was a trailer that was released here in February. I'm going to give you some more details about it and the release date in November. So here is some more information on the two Pokemon remasters coming out from the Nintendo Switch. Okay, on February 26, 2021, there was a Pokemon Presents video presentation. The president and CEO of the Pokemon Company announced a new Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. These video games will be coming out later in 2021. In 2006, trainers were introduced to the Sinnoh region with the release of the Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl games on the Nintendo DS system. Players can once again visit the Sinnoh region in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, which are faithful remakes of two iconic Pokemon games. Trainers caught their first Pokemon in 1996 and began an adventure that has lasted 25 years. Through 8 regions, many different platforms, and countless Pokemon encounters, they have strived to be the very best, said Mr. Ishihara. We hope that fans of all ages will enjoy creating new memories while exploring the Sinnoh region in these new games. Also in 2022, there's going to be another game we'll talk about later called Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus. I'm butchering that name. But when does Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl come out? Well, the release date will be November 19th in 2021 and it'll be available on the Switch. Revisit the Sinnoh region and the story of the Pokemon Diamond version and the Pokemon Pearl version games. Experience the nostalgic story from the Pokemon Diamond version and the Pokemon Pearl versions games in a reimagined adventure, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, now on the Nintendo Switch system. Adventures in the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl games will take place in the familiar Sinnoh region, rich in nature and with Mount Coronet at its heart. Sinnoh is the land of many myths passed down through the ages. You'll choose either Turtwig, Chimchar, or Piplup to be your first partner Pokemon, and then set off on your journey to become the champion of the Pokemon League. Along the way, you'll be able to encounter the legendary Pokemon Dialga in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, or Palkia in Pokemon Shining Pearl. Adventure together with the Pokemon that appeared in the Pokemon Diamond version and Pokemon Pearl version games. Players of the original games can revisit familiar places and relive familiar scenes, while first-time players can enjoy plenty of fun encounters and surprises that the Sinnoh region has to offer. The original story and the scale of the Sinnoh region's towns and routes have been faithfully reproduced. This remake has also been revitalized with some of the player-friendly features of modern Pokemon games and up-close and personal Pokemon battle scenes. Whether you played Pokemon Diamond version or Pokemon Pearl version back in the day, or you're encountering these games for the first time, there's something for everyone to enjoy. A double pack containing the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl games will be available for purchase as a package version or as a digital downloadable version. This package version includes one physical copy of the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond game and one physical copy of the Pokemon Shining Pearl game, while the downloadable version includes copies of both the Pokemon Diamond game and the Pokemon Shining Pearl game. And then here's some screenshots, some more of Pokemon. I wonder how many people remember back in the day that we had, when you were playing Pokemon, people had to have one version or the other. When Nintendo Game Boy Color came out, you also had to get the link cable. So you had to sit very close by. You couldn't stretch out the cord. And then as it went on, eventually you had wireless, as the Nintendo DS and 3DS had. Then eventually we can do online remote play. But you see some of these memories a lot of Pokemon fans have throughout the years. This is a game that was released in 2006. Now it's coming back in a remaster. I could show you pictures all day, which they're very cool to look at pictures, but let's look at an actual gameplay video for Pokemon, or I guess one of the newest releases with updated information for the Pokemon game. Here's a look. Pokémon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl releasing November 19th, 2021 for Nintendo Switch. Pokemon has been around. We talked about it. Pokemon has been around for a very long time, 25 years, 25 more. It's going to continue to go. The game at its essence is a role-playing game, strategy game. There is a lot to do in these games. And of course, you collect and you can play against each other. But there's so many different memories that a lot of people have with Pokemon, which makes it kind of cool because generations of Pokemon fans are out there. So as these are being released for the first time, someone as new is experiencing Pokemon, which I think is really cool. There is so much in pop culture that we can celebrate, whether it's through the years, reading a book, adventure, or playing these video games for the first time, or collecting the cards. Some people collected them for value. Others just collected them because there was cool artwork. Others even played, go figure, a trading card game where you actually bought the cards to play. So with Clifford and Pokemon, that's been through the years, 50 years, 25 years, there's always a great memory. That brings us to Dell's pop question of the day, which is, what are some of your favorite moments in Clifford or Pokemon history? Something that you might recall doing or reading or your first purchase or playing. Just some of your experiences with these franchises and what would be a good memory that you may have with one or the other. Throw your comments in the chat boxes below. All right, let's see what's going on in the comments section today. First, we have the interesting take on Savage He-Man. Kind of like Adam becomes the Hulk. And I thought that as well. I thought that was very unique that Adam is the ground for the power of Grayskull inside. It's definitely a new take. And I think it's going to be something that we'll see where the storyline goes. And if we're going to get anything more with it from different generations or different storytellers, we'll take advantage of now we have Barbaric or Savage He-Man that we can see where this goes. Hopefully we see more with Barbaric He-Man. And then also we have Skelegod, which now has the power of Grayskull. He has the power. And so it's the battle is kind of went to a whole nother level. That's a neat redesign of Orko to the 20X version. Didn't stray far from the original. It's nice to see them try something new. Yes, like you say, it's something new. It still has the essence of what the original was, but it is something a little bit different, a little bit new. Hopefully you've watched the Revelation Part 1 series and see how Orko was in the new series. It looks like he's going to get a little revamp here coming up in the second part. I always liked Orko, and now you will maybe you'll have an Orko action figure. Orko in the original series, they portrayed him kind of like a comedy relief character, but he was a very strong magician in his home world. Clifford the Big Red Dog on Delve into the void, the crossover 2021 never saw coming. Yes, and watch the movie trailer. Need to watch the movie trailer, or need to watch the movie. Love it. Yeah, John Cleese and Kenan Thompson and Clifford. And there were some other people. I think I saw Rosie Perez in the trailer, and I saw someone else, and I forget the name. Is it Frank Lopez, or the comedian Lopez there? Also saw him. And that's what I like about these movies, is there's so much in, cameos, little parts here and there, just having fun. That is, you're sitting there, you're eating your popcorn, or in my case, nachos. We're all just having fun watching these things and going, this is fun. I grew up with a few of the Clifford books, and I remember watching the cartoon for a while. Really surprised it took this long to get a Clifford movie. I wonder too if it was just timing, maybe making sure that you put everything in place with something like that, licensing, the copyright holders, who holds the rights. Also, with the technology nowadays, it probably would have taken a while to put that big screen, green screen, so it wouldn't look as realistic. But now you can kind of do this in CGI, or you can do stuff like you have in The Mandalorian with the virtual screens, virtual production that you have. And so maybe you can have a regular sized dog, and then in the background, you can scale all the scenery. That's true. You never know how they take it, maybe finding the right story as well. Also, you got to figure 25 years, Pikachu, it took them a few stories. You did the animated movies, the series that were on the silver screen. You've also had the television series. Also, the 25 years is going to have a Pokemon soundtrack that's coming out. So many ways to difference and celebrate pop culture. That I think that's pretty cool. And of course, for a lot of kids, they grow up reading these books. So you get to the books, you get to the collectibles, all the cartoons that they have, and now you get to see the ultimate. You go to the silver screen, and then it repeats for another generation. I keep on going to that point because that's what I enjoy about pop culture, is it just so many things we can give to generations and generations. I want to thank everyone for watching this episode, live stream of Delve. If you haven't already, if you've watched this before, make sure you've liked and you subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment on some stuff that you want to see me discuss in future episodes. As we start getting to October, Halloween, I usually go live maybe once or twice a week on Now Playing. I want to play some Halloween themed games, but as we get to November, December, we're going to see a lot of the stuff that we've talked about in previous episodes, and particularly video games and movies, will be starting to release. So we'll start talking about what you've actually watched, what you've actually played or looking forward to, having a special themed episodes as we get in November and December, and just celebrate pop culture. Because in the end, you see your favorite properties, you see them start out at books, trading card games, advance to collectibles, to action figures, to DVDs, to cartoons. Eventually, they reach the silver screen. You play video games on them. You play mobile apps. And then a whole new generation gets to experience it. And then it's 50 years, 25 years, 20 years. New authors, new directors, new writers take these celebrated franchises and just to get to add to the lore. So until next time, make sure you continue to celebrate pop culture and delve on.